Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of Fight Mania, where your host and host Somesh, the superhuman Kamra, and Dubai return. Arjun, aka Mystic Chips Chipalkati, is here with us. Arjun has a side job of finding extremely high-end properties for our producer Suroni Ji. He's back from Burj Al Arab.
Burj Al Arab. You have to say it right. Burj Al Arab.
Burj Al Arab cutting yet another
We'll do
deal
it later. We'll do that
for
later.
our extremely wealthy producer. Welcome back to India, Arjun, aka Mystic Chips. How are you?
All well, brother. All well. But I think we have a lot more to talk about. So let's quickly go into a commercial break and then come back and discuss what all happened in this mad, crazy world that we call mixed martial arts and boxing and fighting and everything. See, मेरा सिर नहीं काम कर रहा है. गरम हवा से बहुत भरा हुआ है. So we'll be back after a quick commercial break.
Hello, everybody. It's been another awesome, great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Think Fast, Varun and Sujita talk about India's new unicorn, Physics Foil, and their humble business venture. On Naan Curry, Sadaf and Archit discover some interesting trivia about oil with Hindustan Times columnist Shweta Sivakumar. On Misconduct, Ravi and Nisha tell us about sex trafficker Sonu Punjaban. On Big Talk about tiny humans, Devi Shobhan Meghna shared tips for sleep training babies. And on Ikka Dukka Economy, renowned economist Arun Kumar tells Abhinav about the impact of black money on individual finances. We've got some exciting news for you. IVM Podcast has just launched its merch line, and you should check it out now. Head over to the IVM Podcast website, that's ivmpodcast.com, and click on the shop tab to check out our first collection of t-shirts. Also, do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows that matter, please do tell a friend. That really does help. Don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms you're listening to us on. And also do remember, you can check out a number of our shows on YouTube. You can go to ivmpodcast.com/YouTube to get a list of the channels that we are keeping active. We also are doing a small listener survey. If you could go to ivmpodcast.com/survey to fill this out, it'll just take a few minutes and it really helps us out. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, SBI Life Insurance, Apne Liye, Apno Ke Liye. Jupiter, a digital banking app. Capgemini, get the future you want. Intel vPro, built for business. And Intel, future banao wonderful with Intel-powered laptops.
इतने सारे sponsors, Arjun, aka Mystic Chips. ये क्या हो रहा है?
We can add Dubai tourism and Burj Al Arab to the entire package now.
And Fight Island.
And Fight Island. But guys, welcome back to episode 4 of Fight Mania. Sorry last week, guys. We really couldn't do it. It was because that I had left for incredible fight card, a boxing fight card that took place in the World Trade Center in Dubai. It was under DJMC Promotions, who were doing
Right.
a lot of good work, Somesh, for Indian boxers. And I remember after the show ended, the gentleman who runs the show, the promoter, who does DJMC box, his name is Dunstan Rosario. He's a nice man, multiple businesses, as a lot of people in Dubai do have.
Right.
And this guy comes and says, he's like, I don't care who's fighting, but my primary focus is to promote Indian talent.
Listen, that's awesome. Why don't you tell all the listeners what DJMC Boxing is about? Because you go there almost every alternate month to cover their boxing events as a commentator. And we've seen some fabulous fights that don't get broadcasted on Indian television. However,
That's sad,
there's some excellent talent that's coming out of there. In fact, the last event itself had some crazy finishes. Why don't you run us through?
Dude, they had 5. So they've started. Now, I've realized that every promotion in the world, every kind of fighting, every sport now has a element that includes a social media element to it. You watch the
Yes.
IPL. IPL also has that, that IPL box, which has like the maximum number of influencer or something that's attached to social media. So
Yes,
it's
yes.
the boxing ring has become a ultimate battleground to settle your disputes. So
Yes.
even influencers are starting putting on the gloves. It all began with Jake Paul, and now it's trickled down to everybody else. So
Yes.
can you imagine, they've set a record statistic, 6 KOs, out of which there were 2 body shot KOs in a 9-fight card.
What? You mean there were what? There were 6, 7 finishes on a 9-fight card?
6 finishes, out of which 2 were body shots.
Oh my God, that is beautiful. I wish we could see this. Like, can we see the fights in India?
We can. I think they're going to be, but they're going to be coming up. They're still dealing with some. It's a new company dealing with a lot of broadcast issues. They've tied up
Right.
partners locally, and they're available on Fight TV, so you can watch the replay on Fight TV.
Oh, that's awesome.
All the stuff is up there.
That is so cool. In fact, we are back after 2 weeks, so we have so much
Oh
lined
my
up.
God!
Of course,
I know you
coming
miss
up
me,
with-
bro. I know you miss me.
Of course we do. We miss you
I
in the
miss
studio.
Pachmuki.
See there. This is the sign of coming back from Dubai. This exactly.
अरे वहाँ
Thank
की
God
हवा
the
इतनी
listeners heard
साफ
it.
है.
Now it's out there in the open. Now you can't even deny it. See, there we go again.
Most people say bless you. अरे नहीं वहाँ की हवा थोड़ी सी I like the
गरम है,
रेती in
गरम
the
है.
air.
गरम
It's
है,
hot.
गरम.
अरे but this is the bullshit, yeah. Because we came back and aircrafts where nobody listens, no. So
Yeah.
I've got into trouble by saying things at airports that I should not be saying. So I'm not going to repeat myself live on the air. But the thing is that it's nobody listens and people are coughing and this that and oh
Right.
my God, it's just a one closed box of diseases at this point.
But what was a closed box for us was UFC 275, where we
Oh,
had
God.
an incredible round of fights. Which
Do you remember we
have
lost
to
our
have
voice
to-
in the studio?
We lost our voice because we were screaming our guts out. Yuri Prohaska
Oh,
versus Glover Teixeira. We had Valentina Shevchenko versus Tyler Santos. We had Zhang Wei Li versus Joanna.
That was
Which were
illegal
the
shot.
three
Huh?
big fights out of 5. And can you imagine? There were 3 finishes out of 5. One was a split decision. Sorry, there were 4 finishes. There were 2
That's-
KOs, 1 TKO, 1 submission, and Valentina Shevchenko went split decision with Tyler Santos. But as you said, of course, there was Joanna calling her retirement that day with a vicious spinning back fist by Wang
I-
Jai-Li.
I think
Zhang Wei Li,
it's-
sorry.
Zhang Wei Li.
Li.
Yeah, I think that was an illegal move, firstly.
No, it was not.
Okay, I
It was
know.
not
Yeah,
in-
I'm kidding. Okay, guys, don't listen to me. We've been saying this as a joke for the longest time. I'm a huge Joanna Jędrzejczyk fan, and
Yeah.
it is, she took. How long was her break, Somesh? 2 years, 2.5 years.
Yeah, it was about 2.5 years.
So it's ironic. She put on the fight of the year, January 2020, with
Yes.
Zhang Wei Li. It went 5 rounds to the distance for a decision, and then came back to face her same opponent, who this time in the second round knocked her out badly.
In the second round, 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
I wish you
almost.
could
I
see
mean,
a
it was-
picture of Joanna Jędrzejczyk. If our producer can put up that picture right now, it'll be great.
Yes.
She's had such a storied career.
Yes.
We're taking a moment to talk about her because she's not only has she been an iconic champion, she
Yes.
has been she's been how many times did she defend her belt, Somesh, roughly? I think 4
I
times.
don't remember, but I think at least 3-4 times. She has defended the belt, one of the top flyweight contenders in the UFC. But sadly, what happens when she came back after 2.5 years, Zhang Wei Li was a differently motivated animal, and Joanna,
Yeah.
unfortunately, was making so much money outside the UFC that you think you love fighting, but once you step in there with a monster that's motivated,
Yeah.
it's a whole new ball game out there. It's a whole
I gotta
new
give her props though. I mean, look at the kind of competition. Rose Namajunas, Valentina Shevchenko. She's faced the kind of fighters that people don't normally face in a row. These are
Right.
two champions that she's faced across 2 weight divisions. She has had such an incredible career. So we'd like to say, thank you for all the amazing memories, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. She's 35 years old. She wants to focus on the rest of her businesses and being a mother. So
Yes.
good luck to you with that. Thank you. You'll always be a legend.
Absolutely. But what was really legendary is what Tyler Santos put on in front of Valentina Shevchenko. Split decision victory. Do you agree with that? That was close. That was close.
I rewatched the fight again.
Uh-huh.
I agree. See, look, in the first, when you watch it, the way you're watching it. By the way, it was a statistic. This is the first time in the history of her career that Valentina Shevchenko has lost on all the 3 judges' scorecards. On 1 judges, has lost all rounds on 1 judge's scorecard.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
She lost
just
the
goes
entire
to
fight
show,
on 1 judge's scorecard.
just goes to show how close your prediction was when you said, what if the upset that could happen
I'm
that
telling
night
you, dude.
was
I'm
Tyler
telling you,
Santos, and you were so close on that one. You were so close.
dude.
You know,
Because I'm
it
telling you, she was
was.
a different animal.
Yeah, she was. I mean, she came in brilliantly motivated, and what a strategy. You know, she came in. I mean, I know this particular fight card. What we're talking, UFC 275 was 2 weeks back, but because we missed one show, we have to cover it.
Yeah.
You know,
No, but Sumesh, the deciding factor was, Valentina has a has a very well-rounded game. She can take you down,
yes,
she can strike with you. But I think this
yes,
is the first time she got so badly muscled in the
yes.
grappling. She got badly muscled, and but her strategy later worked. In that fourth and fifth round, she kept her distance and went putt 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 putt, just hit her.
But you know, these
And
Brazilians are made of a different. I mean, they're just different breeds of
Mera
people. You
khoon
know,
bhi half Brazilian,
you know.
Anderson. So
I didn't. You know, I don't know. People from Kurla are half Brazilian. Yeah.
but with my current hairstyle, so I'm either I need to join the cast of Junoon remake, or
Yeah.
I need to I need to go to Brazil.
Well, I think Tere Naam Part 2 is coming in. Yeah.
No, but Tere Naam Part 2 have to be like this. Now this is full Tere Naam Part 2, no?
But yeah, but what was Tere Naam Part 2 was Yuri Prohaska's absolutely shocking submission of the champion Glover Teixeira.
Oh my God! Before we even get to the champion, get to the submission, what was that fight?
It was unreal. It went, it was like it was fifth round, 4 minute 30 seconds, and Glover was winning that fight.
I don't know what was happening. This is. You remember the same fight? Okay, not as lopsided. When Chael Sonnen faced Anderson Silva in the fifth round, till the fourth minute or the third minute,
Yeah,
everybody thought Chael was winning because Chael had the
versus Anderson
scorecards
Silva. Yes,
versus Anderson
yes,
Silva, and Anderson out of nowhere slaps on a triangle and catches him.
right.
And
Right.
this is something
So
similar.
similar. So similar. But this was such a brawl where Glover was hurting Yiri. Yiri was dropping Glover. It was I mean, you know, if people really need to rewatch the fight, please log on to Sony Live, get that membership. You have to watch this fight.
Oh,
It
and
is
so while
something
you're there, you please watch our. You have access to watching the Ultimate Guide to UFC and the post show. So watch the
absolutely
analysis
yes.
there as well.
You know, it was so beautiful, it was so close. And you know, there is one really nice aspect what the UFC have added is they are giving crypto bonuses to all the fighters, and I have loved that because crypto.com is one of the sponsors, and each event they are get so there are three winners in each event. The first one is going to get $30,000 of Bitcoin, the second one 20,000, and the third place is going to get 10,000. So it was Valentina Shevchenko who won it, then came Yuri Prohaska and Wiley Zhang. So
Man,
apart
that's
from the
crazy.
bonuses, they are getting crypto worth 30,000, 20,000, and 10,000. And I don't know, somehow in UFC 275 and the next event, which is UFC Fight Night, which was in Austin, there were so many bonuses, so many bonuses. Performance of the night bonus.
I mean, come
goes
on,
to
the amount of
you know,
knockouts that we saw were
insane,
the
insane. You know, I mean, there is
bonuses.
something which is going on in the UFC. They're just giving bonuses to like 4, 5 fighters. After that, there's going to be fight of the night and performance of the night. So there was Wiley Zhang, there was Jake Matthews, there was Jack Della, Maheshet, and Silva Gomez, who won the performance of the night, and of course, Yuri Prohaska, Glover Teixeira won the fight of the night
Man,
bonus.
that's the thing, man. That when you have that kind of the sponsors and the money, then it becomes
Yeah.
it's not comparable because now it's a machine. It's like
Yes.
talking about Geo. It's like comparing it to Reliance. It's what Geo did when they entered the telecom market. They slashed their rates to a point of stupidity, where it's like
Well,
just
it's also what
incredible.
happened when the IPL bids were on and Geo kind of outclassed everyone.
Actually, ironically, Star Sports has won it. Star Sports
Uh,
has won the broadcast bid. Yeah, that was a
did,
initial leak, which is not true. Star Sports has got the bid.
so
We
Yeah,
can
I mean,
discuss this. We can discuss this on another time because we are not on this thing IPL show.
yeah,
But I have received some information on the side which leads me to believe that it is not the former, it's the latter. But coming back to speaking of controversial bids, uh, as always, we see our lovely one and only Nate Diaz. Who, remember?
hmm.
By the way, you saw the video that I sent you. I wish we could
Oh
show
my
it here, but
God.
due to copyright infringement, we would not be able to show it. But guys can log on to Instagram and go to Nate Diaz's Instagram, and
Right.
it is a medley of his performances trying to show the UFC. He's been begging for the last 3 weeks. I
Right.
think he's left 2 or 3 Twitter messages saying, "Let me go." I mean, what
Right.
do you make of it, man?
Well, I mean, see, the Diaz brothers could be little. They're quite theatrical in their approach. So you don't know at
That's
what
true.
time of the day or night they have tweeted. It comes down to the Conor McGregor approach. Where he tweets something at night and in the morning is deleted because of certain stuff that goes on in their head. So I don't know really what's happening. In fact, Nate Diaz said he's very game on boxing the Paul brothers. And Dana White has said, gladly, let's make that fight. So that is very, very interesting.
Do you know something that Leon Edwards, who's now going to be facing Kamaru Usman for the welterweight title?
But that's unfair. That's unfair because he lost versus Diaz, right?
No, yeah, correct. He technically lost. If it is pride rules, Leon Edwards lost to Nate Diaz. Now, I know
Easily.
Leon Edwards, if he watches this show, he's going to say F you to you guys because you don't know anything. I'm like, but no, what I saw. Come on, you also saw that
God.
fight. Did you remember anything else?
Absolutely. No, but on a serious note, Leon Edwards beat Nate Diaz and he's now facing Kamaru Usman for the welterweight title.
Dude. So he in Leon Edwards, in an interview or somewhere on Twitter, said that if he becomes champ, he's going to offer Jorge Masvidal the belt, the first crack.
Oh, wow.
I mean, from
Yeah, but that's not
there,
happening any which ways. I mean, he's anyways not going to be getting past Usman. So that's
no,
a
but the
far-fetch.
thing is, yeah, correct. Huh? I mean, but you never know because Usman has only fought strikers so far.
Right.
He's not fought. I mean, Colby never wrestled with him ever. He never used
Right.
his wrestling with him. And sorry, he's either faced a pure striker or a pure wrestler. He's not faced somebody who's got both. And Rocky has
Right.
both. Leon Edwards,
Very
people
true.
criticize him as much as you want, but that guy is technical as hell. He'll get into your face, has some serious power, and has great cardio in the tank.
Absolutely, yes. In fact,
And we have seen Usman hurt. If Colby's punches have landed and hurt Usman,
Yeah.
without the threat of the takedown, and I think Leon Edwards is a much cleaner striker than Colby Covington. Much cleaner.
Well, yes,
striker.
especially after his Nate Diaz fight, definitely he would have upped his game. But on the flip side, Chips, I'm seeing a lot of fighters tweeting what they want to do next, and Dana White, the boss, is just agreeing to it. Like Alexander Volkanovski saying he wants to, I mean, when he gets past, or if he gets past Max Holloway, he's looking to hit straight at Charles Oliveira.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's everybody who calls out Charles Oliveira doesn't end up well for Charles Oliveira. It never ends up well. Anybody who comes out
Yeah,
and says, "Oh,
yeah.
I've got the recipe to defeat Charles Oliveira," never ends up well. Charles,
you never
can
know,
beat
you
and
know,
beat
you
and
never
beat,
know.
and he will catch you. Dude,
You
the
never
thing
know.
is,
You never know.
it's those limbs, man. It's those limbs. He catches guillotines and anything out of anywhere. You saw what happened to Gaethje. Gaethje fell down for 10 seconds, and Charles had transitioned 3 times.
Yeah, yeah.
In 10
That's true.
seconds, he went from a das to a go-go platter to an armbar to a rear naked choke. I don't know what was happening. And all this was in the first round. I think the referees, everybody had just, even the commentators had stopped screaming. They had stopped making sense. They were like,
True. But the point I was trying to make is that is it more of the fighters trying to pick and choose as to what they want to do? Because right now, like Nate Diaz is saying that, listen, just give me the fight and let me go, or let me box Jake Paul. Alexander Volkanovski is saying, listen, let me just fight Charles Oliveira. There's nobody left in the 145 division.
Right.
See, I don't. The fighters are just making their calls, and honestly, Twitter is a platform where possibly the fights are being made.
Yeah, I mean, see, look, I don't know. I mean, it's you. You speak to the UFC more often than anybody else. Um, I don't. I think it's just it's meant for only like special fighters. It's not like tomorrow anybody can just walk up and say, "Hey, I want the fight." I mean, you have to be Sugar Sean O'Malley status, minimum, flying in private jets, and you gotta have that. You gotta have that
Yeah.
swag about you to be able to call out fighters.
Yeah, his last tweet was that he's 6 feet 6 inches tall. So he's bigger than John Jones, but he's in the bantamweight division.
He was talking about some shit to he was saying some shit to Daniel Cormier, and Daniel Cormier is like, listen, I have 9 belts at home. I don't care whether you live or die. I mean, he's like, I like you. You're a spark. You're a good fighter. I like you. You're a good fighter, but it doesn't matter to me what you do. I have 8 belts at home. I've proven myself, and damn right, Daniel Cormier is a 2-division champion. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
Absolutely.
And the thing is, that all this Twitter nonsense are going on. By the way, another hot news today. We are one step closer to because Jake Paul has agreed to sign $300 million on the dotted line to Mike Tyson. So we might see Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. But see, here's the
Are
thing.
you serious?
See, here's the thing with boxing. Do we see what actually happens, or do we want to see what should happen?
Well, we see what they want to show us.
Exactly. So is it what actually is happening, or is it what is going to happen? Like if tomorrow, the thing is that if it's celebrity matches at that state, at that level, anybody who knows anybody knows that you're not outboxing Mike Tyson. Not now, not even when he's 90. I saw him hitting pads. It is just frightening.
Whilst I agree with you, I believe boxing is at a stage where there is an entertainment aspect to it and there's a belt aspect to it. So, we can talk about, Anthony Joshua and Usyk coming in next.
Yeah,
Or we
man,
could
it's gonna
talk
be a
about
great
the Paul
fight.
brothers and, Floyd Mayweather going to Japan and kind of having these, celebrity matches and all of that. So, do you,
No, see,
I mean,
celebrity
I
matches
just
are
think
fine.
boxing is kind of getting divided. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow Jake Paul calls out Mel Gibson or somebody of that sort, and they
Lol,
start
but chalo.
boxing. Maybe Tom Hanks or something of that sort.
Tom Hanks? That would be amazing. No, I guarantee you.
Shawshank Redemption type of.
Sure. No, come on, no. No, the thing is that I absolutely understand. I see celebrity, we see influencer fights going up, happening
Yeah.
more and more. We see YouTube fighters wanting to come and fight each other more and more.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that aspect at all. Let it be
It's
where
so
it is.
interesting. It's so interesting because so many people have written to me on Instagram and Twitter, and I want to put this out to everybody out there. If you think there needs to be one celebrity match that needs to be made in India or abroad, please hashtag Fight Mania, tag us on Instagram,
Yes.
Fight Mania, tag us IVM Podcast, and let us know who do you want. Because as far as I remember, it was Pratik Babbar who called out Varun Dhawan last.
Dude, yeah, Varun Dhawan versus Pratik Babbar was on the cards, and
Absolutely.
he actually said that we were already Somesh and I were going to be the commentators and promoters,
Yeah.
and we were ready to create a digital vein, literally a virtual vein that could have happened here,
Absolutely.
where the
all
trash talk could start.
all the listeners can actually hashtag who do they want when it comes to celebrities in India or abroad, and we will definitely try and reach out to them and make them tweet. So it could be, Shah Rukh versus Salman. It could be,
No.
anybody,
Bhai
anybody
has
out
an
there.
undefeated record, huh? Bhai has an undefeated record. Dude, he destroyed Woodley's career. Woodley was
That's
not
true.
the same fighter after. People
That's
are going to
true.
think 10 times. I mean, like, बोलेगा celebrities will also think, यार, वो UFC welterweight champion था. और
Absolutely.
उसको इतनी बुरी तरह से मारा कि यार वो अगले 6 फाइट हार चुका है और उसके बाद बॉक्सिंग में हार चुका है और वो चला गया है.
Correct.
So people will think twice. Dabang 2, which was the movie? Sultan.
Sultan.
2. Sultan 2, Sultan 3, whoever wants to be in the movies, by chodo. Nahi, nahi. I was happy being part of Tufan, where I didn't get beat. And even then, with Farhan, chalo, luckily I had some success, so it's good.
Yes, but still, we would want to hear from you. So please tag us, please hashtag us. Let us know which celebrities you want to face each
Absolutely.
other, and we would reach out to them and ask them if they're game for a shout out. But guys,
Absolutely.
speaking
But
of
guys,
that,
wait.
let us.
Just before Somesh, before we move on to the next segment,
Yeah.
we want to just do a quick shout out to another fighter, another great fighter, a former WEC fighter and now UFC fighter who's retiring, is Mr. Eddie Wineland, who has
Oh, Eddie
given
Wineland, thank
us
you so much for your
incredible. If we
glorious
can get a
career.
picture of Eddie Wineland, guys, that would be incredible for everyone to see on the show.
Yeah, Eddie, there we go.
Oh, man,
what a
that was-
beast! What a beast!
He was a vintage badass, and recently he lost on the UFC on ESPN card, I think.
Yes,
And I think
yes.
it's the manner in which he lost. He lost by stoppage, and I think he had just had enough, you know.
It happens. Yeah, it happens. It happened to Joanna because when she had that brutal spinning back fist come and she went face first into the
Dude,
canvas.
she planted, man. Damn.
You wake up, you don't know what's happened. There are some parts of your face which hurt, and you're like, listen, I'm done. Because there's just
Yeah.
so much happening outside the octagon, and there's so much in my business career that, maybe this is just that time where you put a full stop to that glorious career of yours and you move on. And that's the life
think,
of
yeah.
a sports person.
Exactly.
But speaking of life of a sports person, I would like to ask for a short break from all the listeners out here. We'll be right back after this commercial break with your host and host Somesh the Superhuman Kamra and Mystic Chips. We'll see you on the other side with what's happening with Gegard Mousasi and Josh Emmett versus Calvin Kattar. See you on the other side.
God,
Welcome
my
back,
arm is
ladies.
looking. So sorry, bro. My arm in that ad was looking very, very Daniel Cormier.
Can you be so? I mean, can you stop being so self-obsessed?
So I can't help it. The photo is nice, yeah. Sorry, friend.
See,
My friend.
our photographers here at IVM Podcast are excellent at Photoshop. So,
No. I was going to say it looks more Dilip Chabria than Daniel Cormier, but chalo.
oh my God!
But-
But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fight Mania by your host and the host Somesh the Superhuman Kamra and Arjun, aka Mystic Chips, are back after this really short commercial break. We're going to be just
Very, very
taking about 7 minutes of yours because we want to make it a crisp 35 minutes show. Thank you so much for tuning in and staying with us. But we
Okay,
wanna
before
talk about-
Somesh, sorry, please go ahead. I think today it's our coordination थोड़ा off है 2 हफ्ता हो गया ना थोड़ा सा.
Abhi,
Not had been able to sit down, have a drink
thoda,
together.
मतलब भाव खाते हैं and because they
अच्छा,
earn too much
भाव.
money and all, I mean they don't care, yeah, हम तो क्या
क्या
बताएं,
बोलेंगे? I mean, come on, Emirates economy class तो सबके लिए नहीं होता है. Ironically, they dropped the ticket prices. Air India is
Oh,
more
really?
expensive. Yeah. And because they were not flying in the sector for the longest time, na? So now they've really dropped the rates so that everybody buys it. And then Air India is
wow.
more expensive, man.
Really?
Yeah. Acha, before
that's
Somesh, bhai,
crazy.
before you announce the next card and do the fights next card, we want to talk quickly about Gegard Mousasi's 50th professional.
Oh man, I was in fact coming to that. Gegard Mousasi is a beast who's actually been fighting since, if I'm not mistaken, 2004 or 2005.
is.
He started his career with M1 Global. And
Yeah.
oh my God, he's been on a tear. Man, this guy doesn't seem to slow down here.
Dude, he looks the same also, huh? No
He
age.
looks the same.
No age, no damage, nothing. Nothing
Wow,
calm.
he's crazy and he's just racking in the wins. And, he's in fact one of those few fighters who opted out of the UFC contract, who didn't renew it and went to Bellator.
I think he went for the money, firstly. I think he was not
Absolutely,
getting the money that he wanted. And Bellator was more than happy to pay him. So good for him. He's gone after the
But
money.
he's winning. That's the best part. He's winning.
And he's winning. And the kind of talent that's coming out in that middleweight division at Bellator is a house on fire, dude. There's
Is
Rory there.
insane.
There's Romero there. There are a lot of good guys there. Romero
Romero, I
left the
think-
UFC. Yeah,
Romero, I think
Romero's there, man.
Romero, I think, has moved to 205. Like he's in light heavyweight now.
But the thing is, that's the funny thing. Mousasi jumps.
Oh yeah, dude.
Mousasi jumps. Dude, he's the last of the old school badasses who doesn't give a shit. He'll
Man,
jai. Like, हाँ, चल अगले हफ्ते.
there's one another guy of old school who's still there in the UFC, and that is Sean Strickland.
Sean Strickland versus Alex Pereira is coming up, and I don't like Strickland's chances.
Oh no. He's taking it. But before we move on to that, Gegard Mousasi is looking to get his 50th professional win, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's going to be his 50th professional win when he fights. I have just forgotten. He's going to defend his light heavyweight, his middleweight belt, and he's been talking about. You know what? In that interview, he said he doesn't even like fighting. He said he doesn't like fighting.
And he's got 50 professional wins?
He's got 50 professional. Like, I don't like fighting. I just do it like that because I'm good at it. I mean, it's like
my
Fedor, you know.
God. I mean,
Who's probably-
I have no idea what goes on in these guys' brains
I
because
don't know. He's like, I don't like fighting, but I like just, whatever.
in fact, Rory McDonald had also said that. Do you know Rory McDonald has given up everything and he works in the church? Like he's a full-time.
Hang on. Rory, the Canadian psycho.
Yes, he works in a church.
He
He works in the church. He said he doesn't like fighting. He works in a church, so now he's with Bellator, and he still works in a church.
Wow.
And technically, he says, "I want to give up worldly pleasures."
You know, it's becoming more and more because even guys like Yuri Prohaska has given up worldly pleasures. Where's his car? He lives in the jungle.
Yeah,
the
he
only
lives in the
the only
jungle.
pleasure he has is that samurai sword.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he's a complete samurai.
You know,
It-
I mean,
it's-
I have no idea what these guys are up to, man. They are,
Even if you
it's,
see
it's so
Mousasi-
freaky. I would not even want to interview them. I would not even want to interview them. I would be.
I
that
don't know what to
scared.
ask them. Like, what do
Yeah.
you do for freedom? What do you do in the? It's like, okay, when I met you remember this fighter called Alexander Shlemenko,
Yes.
who fought many years ago, under multiple banners in Europe. He was in that Jeff Monson crowd,
yeah.
all
Jeff
those guys.
Monson
But
is still fighting.
Jeff Monson will never stop fighting. Bob Sapp and Jeff Monson will never stop fighting. And we never want them to. Jeff Monson, Bob Sapp, and Butterbean should never stop fighting. Never ever stop fighting.
Oh my god.
So guys like Alexander Shlemenko, I remember I was talking to him in the bus on the way home from the fight. And I'm like, so what do you do in your holidays? I train. What do you do at night? I train. What do you do in your free time? I train. And not even smiling. I said, what do you? So I said, you train and sleep. Yes. Duh. And I'm like, what? Who am I talking to? I'm like, this is the worst interview ever.
Oh my god. But speaking of who you want to talk to / who do you want to see fight? Oh my god. Cowboy Cerrone and Joe Lozon cancelled again.
Yeah, this is becoming like Tony and Khabib now.
Yeah, it is just becoming like Tony and Khabib, and I'm like, dude, when are we gonna see these guys? It was really one of those old school good fights that we wanted to see, and Dana White sadly said it's never gonna happen again. They're never booking those guys. Joe Lozon is never gonna face Cowboy Cerrone. Sadly.
Yeah, I mean, after it happened, first time Cowboy mysteriously pulled out. Then this time Joe Lawson tore his knee. His knee got dislocated and he pulled out. So I
Right.
don't know. I think this fight is cursed. Sometimes
cursed.
it's really funny. Sometimes what do you mean? Sometimes when a fight happens, something horrible happens, like a leg break, a tear. Something bad could have happened to Joe Lawson's legs.
Yeah.
Because you know how Cowboy kicks.
Oh man, seriously. See,
And,
I mean, you never know what could go down. You never know
Something,
what could
but
go down.
okay, if it's not meant to happen, it's not meant to happen. That's
It's
the
not
sad
meant to
part.
happen.
Like Tony versus Khabib, I still believe prime Tony Ferguson would have been the greatest threat to Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Absolutely. In fact, right now, Dana White is saying that Tony was there in for Khabib and Khabib ducked Tony for a very long time.
Oh, how come Dana White has started speaking a little more freely?
Well, I
must
personally
say.
believe that is happening because Khabib has pretty much got some kind of arrangement with Bellator, and they are in that exchange of fighters kind of
so
scenario.
Eagle FC and Bellator are doing cross promotions.
Yes, so almost like a cross promotion because if I'm not mistaken, a lot of Bellator fighters are getting one fight contracts in Eagle FC, and Scott Coker has said yes, he's game on it. He wants to exchange fighters and have a deal with Eagle FC so that his fighters can get, good money, good exposure in a different country, etc., etc.
Dude, he
blah,
has
blah,
the
blah.
same deal. He has the same deal with BKFC because Michael Venom Page is fighting at BKFC. against
versus
other one
Mike
and
Perry.
only Mike Perry.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of speculation can be made, and we're going to keep this for another day. So we need to wrap up the show. So, but Somesh, quickly take us through an important, the next week's fight card.
Wow. You know what? In fact, UFC have got 10 weeks back to back fights. And the next fight card, which is a UFC Fight Night Vegas 57 happening at UFC Apex, is another good one where the co main event is Neil Magny versus Rakhmonov.
Rakhmonov versus Neil Magny.
Who is a new age guy from the Khabib camp, I think in Dagestan. But the main event of the evening is Arman Sarukian versus Matthias Gamrot.
My God, this is the first time I'm seeing a main event. I think a non, uber big named main event. So
Yes.
stay tuned, guys, because these guys, sometimes these sleepers are the ones that become stars overnight.
Well, absolutely, because we've got Umar Nurmagomedov, who's on the card, which is a
Oh,
good
that's
fight.
Khabib's cousin, brother. Yeah.
Khabib's cousin, brother. And Thiago Moises is on the card. So it's not going to be that much of a sleeper. It's going to be an exciting event. You can watch all the action on Sony 10 1, 2, 3, and I believe on Sony 10 4.
Yeah, Sony 10.4, I think in Telugu and Tamil. And apart from that, of course, we will be coming up and on our social media, we'll be talking about it. So make your picks and tell us who you like. You can follow me on social media. On Instagram, I'm at Arjun Chips. And on Twitter, I'm at The Mystic Chip.
You can write me on Instagram, somesh.kamra, and on Twitter, I'm somesh_kamra. Make your picks, tag us, hashtag us, and get a chance to win some exciting Fight Mania merchandise. You can also go on ivmpodcast.com and check out the merchandise that they have launched, but you have to pay for it.
Yes, you have to pay for it.
Ours is free. That's
but here,
paid for.
ours is free. All you have to do is hashtag Fight Mania in all your messages, your comments, and your picks, and you win a chance to win some merchandise. So, guys, don't forget that. Tune in every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. with me, Mystic Chips, Arjun Chibalkati, and Somesh the Superhuman Kamra, who's launched his own line of bottles and apparel, and they're available on Amazon and Flipkart. So check it out, guys. I just bought my own. Abhi tak aa raha hai, thoda time lagega, but when I get it, I'm going to be drinking out of it. So see you guys soon next Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Don't miss out. You've been watching Fight Mania.